Hi. So the skill of discerning an author's purpose really supports many of our ELRTs at all grade levels. If you'll notice, the author's purpose and craft strand, and this is for 3rd through 12th grade ELRTs. It's for K through 2 also, but for those of you who are attending, 3rd through 12th grade ELRTs has a strand called author's purpose and craft. The TEKS strand says, follow me in bold across the top, learners will use critical inquiry to analyze authors' choices and how they influence and communicate meaning within a variety of texts. And then you have 6 student expectations, SEs, that are dedicated to students first discerning author's purpose. You see that as A. And in the lower grades, the students are expected to explain the author's purpose within a text. And then as they grow and the texts become more sophisticated, they are to analyze the purpose within a text. And then when they grow even further, by the time they're about to leave us, they're evaluating how well the author met his or her purpose within a text. All of these imply that the student must first discern what the author's purpose is before they can explain, analyze, or evaluate. But then if you look at B through F, once they've discerned author's purpose and they can explain, analyze, or evaluate it, then they begin to analyze other choices the author makes, right? And so if you look, I've got it in italics for you, B through F. They're going to explain, then eventually analyze, then finally evaluate author's use of text structure to achieve the author's purpose. Then C, they're going to explain, analyze, and then eventually evaluate the use of print or graphics to achieve the purpose. So on and so on, with use of figurative language, use of literary devices, and then use of language itself, which that doesn't give you a lot of context there, but what it's really talking about is semantics, right? We get into mood and tone and voice. So all of this strand is directly supported by students first being able to ascertain what the author's purpose is. Then in other parts of our TEKS, right, beyond author's purpose and craft, learners, this is the second part of that strand, that after they analyze author's purpose in a pre-created text, then learners will analyze and apply author's craft purposefully in order to develop their own products and performances. And so you see this up in our oral language and response strand, where students are adjusting their choices as, when they're the author according to their own purpose as authors. And then later on in our composition strand, they're planning, drafting, structuring, and composing appropriately according to their purpose as authors. And then finally, down in the inquiry and research strand, their purpose as authors determines formality, process, and product. So you see that both in their consumption of texts and in their creation of texts, whether they're oral or written or even multimodal, all comes down to their ability to discern author's purpose. And so what has been the traditional approach to this concept? Well, you saw it right in the title of this course, PIE. Right? So we've relegated the purpose of all created messaging to either for the purpose of persuasion, informing, or entertaining.